Welcome to Business Line's State of the Economy podcast, where you'll find insight, analysis, and the story behind the numbers.
Welcome to Business Line's State of the Economy podcast. In this new series, we will focus on the cybersecurity threat landscape and how the ecosystem is tackling the challenge. Cybersecurity issues were highest priority areas of organizations and governments until a few years ago. But it is changed completely now. It is on the top of the agenda. In this current episode, we will be discussing how and why hackers are meddling with elections across the globe. We in India have just completed an exhaustive 7-phase election process. Several other countries, including the US and UK, are also going to polls in the next few months. Cyber attacks are not only increasing at an alarming pace during elections, but also getting very complex and dangerous too. These attacks aim to manipulate election results, spread misinformation, and even generate financial gains through phishing and other malicious methods. We have with us today Mr. Vishal Salvi, Chief Executive Officer of homegrown cybersecurity solutions company QuickHeal. Salve has vast experience in cybersecurity, handling cyber defense for some top companies. He is also on DSCI's board. Welcome to the Cybersecurity Podcast, Mr. Salve.
Thank you so much, KV. I'm very happy I'm here today with you.
Yeah. Why cyber attacks during elections, they happen. Why actually this has become a very interesting battlefield or a fertile ground for hackers?
Yeah, I think, when you look at cybersecurity, and especially when you see cybersecurity in the context of elections, there are broadly two areas that, we should look at. One is in terms of how it can influence or shape the narrative and therefore perhaps also the outcome of the elections, and so therefore have a direct impact to the outcomes of elections. And other is in terms of what the threat actors would use during the election as campaign to perhaps execute social engineering attacks and various other means of campaigns to extract credentials and financial information and confidential information from unsuspecting individuals. So I think the first one obviously has a far-reaching impact, and there are many examples across the world in past where we have seen a very high impact and deadly impact of such activities. And what I mean by that is, the fact that there has been a significant amount of digital evolution and explosion and adoption that has happened across the corporate as well as individuals. And when you talk about individuals, we talk about the rise of social media and how social media plays a very important role in influencing the narrative of elections. And we have seen examples where there can be direct or indirect manipulation of the information that is being received by the end users, which can influence their mind and swing their thinking towards in a particular direction. So that's, I think, the first part of how it has a far-reaching impact. And the reason I'm saying it has got cybersecurity implications is because of the way the threat actors or the adversaries are using this manipulation, and the method that they use can only be countered by solutions which can be provided by cybersecurity. So, KV, that's the first part. I think the second part is more traditional, which happens on an ongoing basis, not just necessarily seasonal because of elections, but because during the election campaigns, these campaigns become more targeted towards individuals from elections point of view, and people are not able to make a distinction between what is genuine and what is not, and end up actually falling prey to those social engineering attacks.
Okay. Okay, what are the most common tactics used by either individual hackers or nation states during elections, Salvi?
Yeah, so when you talk about the manipulation of social media and other platforms, there is now obviously a deep use of artificial intelligence and various other analytical solutions which can identify what is the mood. So, for example, there are analytical softwares which are available, which can be developed, which can look at the number of likes and the number of views that you are generating on any platform, and based on that give a verdict as to what is the swing or the mood of the individuals towards a particular policy or towards a particular candidate or towards a particular party.
Hmm.
And that information is very critical for the parties to define their campaigns and fine tune their campaigns. So that becomes a very powerful tool, in the hands of the various political parties, right? If the data is used or misused. So that's one example. Another example is where you directly create fake videos using deep fakes and so many other methods by
Hmm.
which you actually are not able to make a distinction between what is a real video and what is a video which has been created through AI and through deepfakes. So that can also create a false narrative or a false propaganda which can influence the outcome. So this is one example for the first part of threats that I talked about. As far as the social engineering attack and methods are concerned, obviously phishing, various ways of writing emails and initiating campaigns and surveys and other things where gullible people can actually fall prey to that and share their confidential information, which can then be misused against them for fraudulent transactions on their bank accounts or hacking their emails and doing various activities using your mails and impersonating yourself. People can lose their identities and so on and so forth. So those are some methods that are used by the threat actors. Essentially, social engineering techniques with the combination of technology and tools to actually lure unsuspecting customers.
Okay, I see two distinct ways of manipulation, Salvi here. One is deep fakes, to create fake videos, and doctored videos which are real but no edited carefully to send wrong messages. I think this election for the first time we have seen both. We have seen how old videos of our home minister were used to create a doctored video that actually created a problem, and then no police filed cases. What do you think? No, can we quickly preempt? If not preempt, we can stop the damage quickly. What could be the solutions?
Yeah, so I think the cybersecurity world is right now coming out with solutions which you can, for example, run on your mobile phone or your computer. And the moment you are running a doctored video or a deepfake video, it will pop up and tell you that it is actually it is what it is. Okay, and
Hmm.
that is a solution which is not very far away. It is something which is going to come and become widespread and commoditized, just like antivirus works on your computer and on your mobile phone.
Hmm.
Similarly, it will be an extension of the antivirus which will pop up, and antivirus job is to stop the virus. The job of this software will be to actually either stop the video if that is the policy you define, or at least notify that this is actually a fake video.
Okay. So there are two kinds of attacks I see this time, Salvi. One is from the across the border. Your sister company Secret has recently come out with a report on how hackers from across the border are influencing are attacking government organizations during the elections. And homegrown threats. Some political parties are vested interests creating the problems themselves. How do you see these two distinct attacks, and which you think is a bigger problem.
See, I think in the digital and the cyber security world, there are actually no boundaries. There are no physical boundaries which separate nations. You don't need a passport or a visa
Okay.
to enter one computer to another computer. And because of internet, everything is connected.
Hmm.
Everything is connected and everything is on the one single internet platform, one single information highway. Okay.
Hmm.
So that's just visualize it that way. And because of that, what is happening is it has created an ecosystem. And what I mean by ecosystem is that uh, there is a chain of hierarchy where the person who's writing a malware is selling that malware on a marketplace, and somebody else is buying that malware and extracting credentials, and somebody else is buying those extracted credentials and orchestrating attacks, and somebody else is taking those attacks and actually doing exfiltration of money or data or information. So it's a basically a value chain, fraudulent value chain which has got created, and each one is playing their part, and it is all possible because in a digital world everybody is connected. So most of the malware which we see, which is even coming into India, is actually written overseas,
Hmm.
right?
Hmm.
But there could be the last person in this value chain who is actually the perpetrator, who could be sitting in the country and orchestrating his nefarious activities,
True.
right?
Yeah.
So that's really how it works, KV. And so attackers can be overseas, and attackers can be actually in country
Yes.
locally as well.
Okay. See, while cybersecurity threats are always there, even in the past, the additional dimension that we see this time is artificial intelligence. A well evolved artificial intelligence solutions have further aggravated the problem. What kind of additional challenges that AI backed attacks pose, and no, what could be the solutions for this, Salvi?
Yeah, I think that's a great question. See, basically, in earlier before advancement and maturity of AI, what used to happen is that when the fraudsters were writing phishing mails, they were actually making a lot of mistakes and a lot of errors,
Hmm.
right? Whether it is grammatical error, whether it is spelling mistakes, there were
Yes.
a lot of errors. And so one could easily identify a fish if one was very careful
Hmm.
or diligent. Okay.
Yeah.
Now, with the advent of AI, you know, the way in which the phishing mails are written are so clever
Hmm.
that they actually appear to be more genuine than even a real mail.
Hmm.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's a significant challenge. So
Yes.
uh, earlier the fraudsters were not able to write clever emails, but now with use of AI, they're actually able to do that. Not just that, they can now write. They don't need to know different languages because earlier, if I know English, I would only be able to write a phishing mail in English.
Yeah.
Now it is multilingual, right? So they can
Yes.
create emails from in any language, and so their ability to actually reach out and target their potential victims is far higher because of availability of AI. Okay,
Uh,
that is one example of the new challenge which is coming because of AI. The other example is that at the end of the day, when you're talking about a cyber security attack,
mm,
it is all about finding out a path in the complex network of various computers and systems and data centers and cloud technologies, finding out a path to get to the information that you're looking for. Okay. And what we call as basically attack path. Now, with the advent of AI, the program actually can do that. You don't need highly skilled technical resources to actually go and execute that. So executing an attack has become much more simpler because of the advent of AI. And the
Okay.
third example, we just talked about, which is deep fakes, right? Or doctoring of videos. Now, deep fakes and everything else is only possible because of the advancement in AI, right?
Hmm.
And these algorithms are so clever and so efficient that you can actually create a real looking video, but with fake narrative. So
Yes.
these are some of the challenges
Hmm.
which are posed by AI. And I think to answer your question on the second part, which is about what can we do, so we can actually throw AI to actually counter that as well. So like the bad guys are using AI, even the good guys are actually now adopting AI to build countermeasures, build tools, and build solutions which can use AI technologies to get better at countering, stopping, protecting, detecting, monitoring, and eliminating these threats.
Okay. See, we are in the middle of the whole country, and every walk of no life are involved in the election process in some way or the other. So this is a new challenge for us. Cyber attacks powered by AI. What do you suggest? No, this election process for this time is over. Another 5 years, we will be in another battle. What do you suggest for the country? Or do you suggest any kind of an association or an umbrella organization to put out a united front to face these challenges? Will we be ready? As of today, I don't think we are ready as a country to face this. After 5 years, how actually we should be ready with a solution?
Yeah, so I think if you observe what was happening is just before the elections were announced, there were multiple notifications that were sent to all the ISPs, the basically the solutions provider who eventually end up hosting all these deepfake videos and other things, with a strict expectation to monitor and take down any misuse or any malpractices related to this, right? So the
Yes.
government was very proactive. The government was very proactive in terms of issuing these notifications, and
Hmm.
actually they're extremely serious about violations, and they were extremely serious about non-compliances. So that is, I think, so I guess what I was trying to say is that while the government has taken proactive steps already, there is a constant effort required to come out with a proper policy framework to ensure that all the players in the ecosystem, especially the ISPs, are made accountable for ensuring that they monitor and take down any malpractices related to false spreading of information. Okay.
Yeah.
Um, that is number one. Number two, I think the public at large also need to understand, and we have to create awareness that something like this is real and truth. And so they need to be extremely watchful about what they're consuming, and doubt. Just like we were saying that whenever you get a mail, you have to always have a doubt whether it is coming to you from a genuine person or not. And we used to say, think before you click, right? For phishing attacks.
Yeah.
Similarly, now the time has come where you should say you have to think before you consume and make your own interpretation. So because you need to have a clarity of thought in terms of what is real and what is not. Okay.
Hmm.
The third thing is, it will at times be very difficult for end common citizen to make that distinction. So it is incumbent on us as the security vendors or security tools providers, that we provide them solutions so that they are able to use those solutions to identify what is real and what is not. And that is also something which is currently a lot of innovation and a lot of solutions are under development, and that is also going to come. So I don't think we should wait for another 5 years, because the use of deepfakes and all these other examples that I talked about, these kind of practices can be applied for even other aspects of our life beyond just elections. And so it is something which is a systemic problem across the society, and it is deeply embedded because of the digital adoption. And we can only address it by looking at all the three elements that I just talked about, which is policy, driving it through policy, driving it through awareness, and driving it through tools and solutions that we need to deliver so that we can stop it.
Yeah, true. I completely agree with you, Salvi, on this. Thanks very much for joining our podcast today. So, the cyber security challenge is real, particularly in the times of elections. We have seen how hackers trying to influence, trying to attack organizations, and manipulate people's opinions, and even stealing money also. So, Salvi, the CEO of Quick Hill, he suggests government should come out with a policy framework so that we will be well equipped to face challenges in the next 5 years. Thanks very much, Salvi.
Thank you so much, KB. Nice talking to you.
Thank you.